Good afternoon, everyone. It's now 3 p.m. The requisite quorum being present, I declare the meeting open. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I welcome you all to the 27th Annual General Meeting, AGM of ICICI Bank Limited. I hope you and your families are safe and in good health. Let's also spare a moment to pay our respects to those employees who bravely laid down their lives in their line of duty. Our heart also goes out to the customers and shareholders as well, and their families who may have suffered bereavement. In view of the continuing COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing is a norm to be followed, and hence this AGM is being held through video conferencing or other audiovisual means in compliance with applicable provisions of the Companies Act 2013, read with rules made thereunder, and general circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The bank has taken all feasible efforts under the current circumstances to enable the members to participate through video conferencing or other audiovisual means and vote on the items of business to be transacted at the AGM. I am participating in this AGM from bank's office in New Delhi. I'll now introduce the board members present with me. To my right is Ms. Neelam Dhawan, Independent Director of the bank and Chairperson of Board Governance, Remuneration and Nomination Committee.
Good afternoon, everyone.
To my left is Mr. S. Madhavan, Independent Director of the bank and Chairman of Fraud Monitoring Committee.
Namaskar, good afternoon.
I now request other independent directors on the board of the bank to introduce themselves. I'll start with Mr. Hari L. Mundra. Mr. Mundra, you are on mute. Still it is on mute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, friends. I am Hari Mundra, Independent Director of the bank. I am participating in this AGM from my residence in Mumbai. I am also the Chairman of the Stakeholders or Shareholders Relationship Committee of the board, and therefore represent your interests at the board level along with my other colleagues. I would like to join the chairman in saluting our bank employees for keeping the ICICI flag flying during the pandemic in the last 18 months, even at the cost of their lives. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mundra, for introducing yourself. Mr. Radha Krishnan Nair.
Good afternoon to everybody. I am Radha Krishnan Nair, Independent Director of the bank and Chairman of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. I am participating in this meeting from Bangalore office of ICICI.
Thank you, Mr. Nair. Ms. Rama Bijapurkar.
Good afternoon and namaste. I'm Rama Bijapurkar, Independent Director and Chairperson of the Customer Service Committee.
Thank you, Ms. Rama Bijapurkar. Mr. B. Sri Ram.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'm B. Sriram. I'm Independent Director of the bank and Chairman of the Information Technology Strategy Committee. I'm participating in this meeting from my residence in Chennai. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, Mr. Sriram. Mr. Uday Chitle. Mr. Uday Chitle.
Hello everyone, I am Uday Chitre, Independent Director of the bank and Chairman of the Audit Committee. I am participating in this meeting from my residence in Mumbai. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chitle. Mr. Sandeep Bakshi, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the bank, is joining us from Mumbai. May I request Mr. Sandeep Bakshi to introduce himself and others who are present with him in Mumbai.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon to all of you. I am Sandeep Bakshi. I welcome you all to the 27th Annual General Meeting of the Bank. I am attending this AGM from the Corporate Office of the Bank, situated in Bandra Kurla Complex, Mumbai. I will now introduce you members of the board and senior management present with me. To my right is Ms. Vishakha Mulya, whole-time director of the bank. Next to Ms. Mulya, we have Mr. Anup Bagchi, whole-time director of the bank. Seated to the right of Mr. Bagchi is Mr. Ranganath Atharya, company secretary of the bank. To my left is Mr. Sandeep Batra, whole-time director of the bank. Seated to his left, we have Mr. Rakesh Jha, Group Chief Financial Officer of the bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep. All the directors of the bank are present at this meeting, at this 27th Annual General Meeting. The authorized representatives of Messrs. Walker Chandiok and Company LLP, statutory auditors, and Messrs. Parikh and Associates, secretarial auditors, are attending this AGM through video conferencing or other audiovisual means. The authorized representatives of Messrs. MSKA and Associates, Chartered Accountants, and Messrs. Khimji Kamarji and Company LLP, Chartered Accountants, proposed joint auditors, are also attending this AGM. As required under Regulation 13 of the Securities and Exchange Board of India, Share-Based Employee Benefits Regulations 2014, a certificate from the statutory auditors of the bank stating that the employee stock option scheme of the bank has been implemented in accordance with the said regulations has been obtained by the bank and is placed before this meeting and is available for inspection. The statutory registers, as required under the Companies Act 2013, Auditor's Report, Secretarial Audit Report, and documents referred to in the notice of AGM are open for inspection. As this AGM is being held through video conferencing or other audiovisual means, there was no requirement of appointment of proxies by the members. Register of proxies is therefore not applicable for this AGM and not available for inspection. I would like to mention that the bank has received 5 valid representations from the corporate members. Coming to the business of the meeting, with your permission, I shall now take the notice convening this meeting as read. In line with the provisions of Section 145 of the Companies Act 2013 and Secretarial Standard on General Meetings, only the qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks in the auditor's report on the financial transactions or matters which have any adverse effect on the functioning of the company are required to be read out at the AGM. As there are no qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks of the auditors, the auditor's report is not required to be read. As per the Secretarial Standard on General Meetings, only the qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks in the Secretarial Audit Report which have any material adverse effect on the functioning of the company are required to be read out at the AGM. As there are no qualifications, observations, or comments or other remarks of the Secretarial Auditor, the Secretarial Audit Report is not required to be read. For the benefit of the members, we have arranged for a presentation which would be screened now. May I request our MD and CEO to take us through the presentation.
Good afternoon once again to all of you. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope that all of you are safe, healthy, and doing well. I will take you briefly through our presentation, and then we would be happy to take your questions. I will start with our performance in financial year 2021. Our long-term strategic objective is to achieve risk-calibrated growth in core operating profit through a 360-degree customer-centric approach, tapping opportunities across ecosystems, leveraging internal synergies, building partnerships, and decongesting processes. The core operating profit grew by 16.9% year-on-year to 313.51 billion rupees in financial year 2021. The profit after tax increased from 79.31 billion rupees in financial year 2020 to 161.93 billion rupees in financial year 2021. During financial year 2021, we continued to strengthen our banking franchise. Total deposits grew by 21% year-on-year at March 31, 2021. Current and saving account deposits on a daily average basis increased by about 532 billion rupees in financial year 2021. Our digital platforms and efforts towards process decongestion played an important role in the growth of our deposit franchise. We have continued to increase the share of the granular, diversified lending to retail and small business customers in our overall portfolio. The domestic loan book grew by 17.7% year-on-year at March 31, 2021, driven by retail and SME loans, which grew by 19.9% year-on-year and 32.5% year-on-year respectively. The overseas branches portfolio decreased by 30.3% year-on-year in rupee terms as of March 31, 2021. The overall growth rate was overall loan growth was 13.7% year-on-year. We saw continued improvement in portfolio quality during the year. Net NPAs declined by 9.2% year-on-year to 91.8 billion rupees at March 31, 2021. The net NPA ratio declined to 1.14% at March 31, 2021 from 1.41% at March 31, 2020. The provision coverage ratio improved further to 77.7% as of March 31, 2021. The bank held COVID-19 related provisions of 74.75 billion rupees or about 1% of the total advances as of March 31, 2021. We maintained a strong capital base with a total adequacy ratio of 19.12%, Tier 1 ratio of 18.06% and CET1 ratio of 16.80% as of March 31, 2021. The bank raised equity capital amounting to 150 billion rupees during financial year 2021. Our digital platforms provide seamless journeys and personalized solutions to customers and enable more effective data-driven cross-sell. In December 2020, we expanded our state-of-the-art mobile banking app, iMobile, to iMobile Pay, which offers payments and banking services to customers of any bank. We have seen significant increase in adoption of our mobile banking app, iMobile Pay, with over 3 million activations by non-ICICI bank account holders since its launch. The transactions by non-ICICI bank account holders in terms of value and volume have grown by 8 times and 7 times respectively in June 2021 compared to March 21. We are seeing high customer engagement through repeat usage of features like Pay to Contact, Scan to Pay, and bill payments on iMobile Pay. The business banking and SME franchise continues to grow on the bank of digital offerings and platforms like InstaBiz. InstaBiz is a comprehensive platform which meets most of the banking needs of business banking customers, such as instant overdraft facilities, payment of GST, and remittances. Our supply chain platform enables corporates to seamlessly manage their supply chain financing, payments, collection and reconciliation requirements of their dealers and vendors in a convenient and paperless manner. The financial transactions on InstaBiz and supply chain platforms have grown steadily in the past few quarters. In the UPI space, our strategy is to participate both directly through our own platforms and partner with third-party players. The value of UPI payment to merchant transactions more than tripled year-on-year in financial year 2021. The bank is a market leader in electronic toll collections through FASTag. The electronic toll collections for the bank grew by 63% year-on-year in financial year 2021. The bank had a market share of 36% by value in the electronic toll collections through FASTag in March 2021. The bank has taken a number of initiatives to offer a convenient and frictionless experience to customers by digitizing the credit underwriting process with instant loan approvals. About 75% of credit cards were issued digitally in financial year 2021. About 90% of personal loan disbursements by volume were digital in financial year 2021. Over 90% of saving account transactions were done through digital channels in financial year 2021. Now I will briefly talk about our performance in quarter 1 of 2022. The core operating profit grew by 22.7% year-on-year to 86.05 billion rupees. Profit after tax grew by 77.6% year-on-year to 46.16 billion rupees. Total deposits growing by about 15.5% year-on-year to about 9.3 trillion rupees at June 30, 2021. Total advances grew by 17% year-on-year and domestic advances grew by 19.6% year-on-year. We continue to have a high provision coverage ratio on NPAs with the PCR increasing further to 78.2% at June 30, 2021. In addition, we hold COVID-19 related provisions of 64.25 billion rupees or about 0.9% of advances. We are confident that these provisions will completely cushion the balance sheet from the potential credit losses which may arise due to the pandemic. The performance of the portfolio and the strength of the balance sheet give us significant comfort. The capital position of the bank continued to be strong with a CET1 ratio of 17.01%, Tier 1 ratio of 18.24%, and total capital adequacy ratio of 19.27% at June 30, 2021, including profits for the quarter. Our colleagues have shown resilience and strength and continue to serve our customers even in this challenging environment when a number of our colleagues were themselves impacted by the virus. We are immensely proud of their commitment and dedication in these difficult circumstances. The welfare and well-being of our colleagues and their families is of utmost importance to us. We have supported COVID-19 affected colleagues and their families with medical e-consultation and assisted them in quarantine and hospitalization. We have launched programs to vaccinate all our colleagues and their immediate family members. We are happy to share that now about 85% of the bank's employees have received at least one dose of vaccination against COVID-19. With this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep. The bank has received requests from some members expressing their desire to speak at this AGM. The list of such members is placed before me. I'll invite them one by one to express their views or ask questions. Members are kindly requested to focus their queries on matters pertaining to the notice of the meeting. Further, customer or employee issues of the members may be taken with the respective company officials. In order to accommodate the maximum number of speakers possible, we request the members to be brief and avoid repetition of questions so that other members also are given a fair opportunity. After hearing out all the speaker members, queries, if any, raised by the members would be collectively answered by the MD and CEO. Members whose names are called out are requested to unmute themselves and join by switching on the video and proceed to speak. If the member is unable to join through video mode or for any reason, then the members can ask question or seek clarification through the audio mode. Members are requested to kindly ensure that they are seated in an area where there is proper lighting and minimum background sound. If it is observed that there is a connectivity problem at members' end, then the next speaker will be invited to talk. If connectivity improves, we will try connecting the member again once other members who have registered complete their turn. Let me start by inviting speaker number 1, Mr. Rajiv Ahuja, who is joining us from Gurgaon. Mr. Rajiv Ahuja.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, Mr. Chairman, sir. I do not have any questions. I just had a few comments which I thought I would table in this forum. Today, I speak to you both as a customer as well as a shareholder. Having spent over 2 decades in the customer experience business, all of which were in global, large leadership roles, I fully understand the challenges of competing in a highly competitive market. Today, I bank with a number of other banks, including ICICI, but ICICI remains my bank of choice. And why do I say that? I say that because moving forward, wallet shares will go to those organizations that listen to their customers and adapt with the changing times. Case in point, how the bank quickly moved and pivoted to enhancing its digital play once the pandemic broke last year. All that and more was evident from the numbers given out in earlier slides by Mr. Bakshi. I know from personal experience that very often large organizations are confronted with a choice between doing good or doing well. And often these two are not synonymous. I have always seen ICICI picking the we will do good option by standing by and for its customers. This customer first, customer advocacy mantra is what makes you all different from the rest of the banks. My thesis of happy people lead to happy customers, which in turn leads to happy shareholders, I think is truly followed in letter and spirit by your bank. With that, I would once again like to wish the board and the executive team led by Mr. Bakshi the very best in times to come, and congratulations on what has been a phenomenal year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahuja, for sharing your thoughts and views and for attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 2, Mr. Vinod Agrawal. He's joining us from Mumbai. Mr. Vinod Agrawal.
Yes. Yeah, respected Chairman Chaturvedi ji, our CEO and MD Mr. Sandeep Bakshi ji, our CFO Rakesh Jha, and our Company Secretary Ranganath Athraya ji. Sir, good afternoon to everyone and regards to everyone, sir. Sir, I've got 1 or 2 observations from the balance sheet, sir. Yeah, sir, we have a subsidiary ICICI Prudential AMC, where the equity is just 176 million and the profits out there are 12.45 billion and the reserves out there were 17.4 billion. Are you likely to come out with a listing of this subsidiary on the stock market? I feel now it has become mature. It has given a good dividends to the parent company. It has got good reserves. It has got good profits every year. This has become prime to become listed on the stock market. ICICI Prudential AMC I'm talking about, sir. And if it comes, keep a portion of it for the existing shareholder of ICICI. Sir, I'm a very old shareholder of the ICICI. The parent company ICICI, which was there in the 70s and 80s, we used to attend the meeting at Patkar Hall, sir. In Mr. H.T. Parekh's time, we used to attend, sir. Sir, your provision coverage ratio is 77% and 78% after June, sir. Now, I would like to know what is the targets for recovery of the NPA set for FY22, because whatever comes back from the provision goes directly back into the PNL of the bank. If the provision made and the recoveries are made, then we get it into the PNL. So what is the target for the NPAs which are there of 1.14% of the provision of the advances? And sir, on page 160, sir, I've seen you've done good cost cutting. You have cut down your rent bill by about 1.2 billion. You've cut down your ad and publicity bill by about 2.7 billion, and you cut down your stationery and printing by 500 million, sir, half a billion. I think so that is more due to digitization. But one thing which I have not been able to understand on the cost cutting part is your salary bill has come down by 1.8 billion, sir. Oh, how can that be, sir? Because if you do not motivate your salaries and if you don't give your workers good wages, was it due to sacking of workers or what was it, sir? The total payment shown on page 160 is 80.9 billion against 82.71 billion last year. That's about 1.8 billion cost cutting on the employee wage front, sir. Why was that, sir? And sir, you have given a dividend of rupees 2 on an EPS of 26.83. That works out to less than 8%. And if I add the retained earning of last year of 14 point something, the total earnings of 41 rupees in the previous year, you are not allowed to give dividend. I understand by the RBI diktat. But now when we have got the earning, you could have given an extra dividend this year, sir, about 4 or 5 rupees. I don't know why you've kept such a low dividend payout of only 8%, sir. Even this 8% of the dividend which you are giving us is taxable in our hands, sir. Earlier the dividend distributed used to be taxed at the hands of the company. So what we are receiving is much less than even this 8%, sir. I wish the company all the best. I keep on growing and give us more. And may you consider giving us a bonus like we had given a few years back, 1:10. You can consider better bonuses this year, sir. Thank you, sir. Signing off, Vinod Agarwal from Mumbai.
Thank you, Mr. Agrawal, for sharing your thoughts and views and for attending the AGM. So now I'm inviting Mr. Harakchand Shah. He's joining us from Solapur. Mr. Harakchand Shah.
I am coming. Audio भी चलेगा.
Audible, please.
Audible. Sir, we look forward to meeting you at the AGM every year, once in a year. And this year also I could make it. Thank you to the efforts by your secretary department, your company secretary, and particularly me, who went all the way to make sure that I attend the AGM. Sir, first and foremost, I hope you all are safe and healthy. That is the most important thing for all of us. Sir, secondly, our warrior number one, our MD, Mr. Sandeep Bakshi, attended the office every single day during the pandemic.
Mr. Shah, if there is nobody else in the room, then you can remove the mask. You will be easily audible. Because of the mask, there is a problem. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, congratulations to the MD and the CEO. Sir, we need captains like him and the commanders like you to navigate us through these difficult times. Sir, as far as our MD is concerned, he is too modest. Sir, you have only indicated at one point in the corporate governance report that Mr. Sandeep Bakshi voluntarily relinquished his fixed compensation for the whole of 2021, and he was paid an honorarium of only 1 rupee, sir, for the entire fiscal year. Sir, nobody in the corporate world except probably Mukesh Ambani would do a thing which Mr. Sandeep Bakshi has done. Sir, it is super and unimaginable, and only ICICI people can do that. Sir, then again, sir, you are too modest. You are the chairman and our MD. Sir, in this difficult and challenging times caused by the pandemic, the health crisis and so many things, they have all demanded exceptional efforts. But what most pleasing is that the standalone net profit for the year 2020-21 is the highest according to me in the history of the bank. Sir, that should be the kudos to the bank for the super performance in such a difficult and challenging time. Also, sir, we have recommended a dividend of rupees 2 per share, 100% dividend. Sir, I would disagree with the speaker number 2. Sir, we are conservative. A bank needs to be conservative and preserve the resources. And I am happy with that 2 rupees dividend. What is more appealing to me as a shareholder is the share price. So this last year, I just end of March 2020, 300 rupees. End of March 2021, 600 rupees. Today, 700 rupees. So more than double in 1 year. Even if there is dividend, we are happy as far as the share price is good and the bank is strong and is in safe hands. Sir, you are a true leader and a banker that we need and that ICICI needs and India needs. Sir, then I go to the next point. Sir, if I have to summarize your annual report of 355 pages in only 2 minutes, I will just say accelerating digitization, the very first page of your annual report. Sir, it is so easy. You don't have to read anything in those 355 pages as long as it is digital banking. Digital banking and the banking for the future. And there is evidence all over in the annual report for this particular aspect. Sir, as far as your savings, you have already indicated. Savings, 90% of the savings transactions are done through digital channels. And the bank is leader in the electronic toll collection transactions done through FASTag. Sir, 75% credit cards issued digitally. Personal loan sanctions done digitally. What more do you want, sir? You don't need to go for it. It is the brand ICICI that is doing justice to the business that you are in. Sir, sir, as far as the net income, sir, here again you are too modest. Sir, you don't beat around the bush. The net income for 2021 under US GAAP was 20,370 crores. Whereas under the Indian GAAP it was lower at 18,384 crores. So we have an impression that US GAAP are far stricter to comply with. But here it is the reverse. Indian GAAP you have made a lower profit, US GAAP you have made a higher net income. Same is the case with stockholders' equity. US GAAP stockholders' equity works out to 1,79,000 crores. Indian GAAP it works out only to 1,57,588 crores. So then the next point. So it's gross NPS is 78%. So this is a very healthy sign. And in a difficult times like the last 1.5-2 years, you know, we are actually satisfied that the bank is in safe hands and we will not have any major problem going forward. So again, another important point, when people are advised during the pandemic to stay at home and they are afraid to go out of their homes. So ICICI Bank took the initiative and deployed mobile AGMs for the benefit of the public in containment zones. So this is one thing only ICICI Bank can do and no other bank. So the next point. So we are classified as a systematically important domestic in the private sector. That shows the importance and the size of we problems. You know, internal problems, external problems, health crisis, and financial crisis and whatnot. What is satisfying is that the bank is able to overcome these problems and do justice to the business that the bank is in. So then if you compare in the universal, in fact, the history, you know, we have been a project finance institution, incorporated as a project finance institutions, and we tend to think long term. And this is what has, you know, over the entire lifespan of the bank. You compare our performance with peers like IDBI Bank or IFCI, where are they today? and then in ICICI. So I would like to go one step further and compare with global banks. You compare with Citibank, Deutsche Bank, etc., Hong Kong and all that. So they have not done much progress after 2008, whereas ICICI is on the right path, and I think they will lead India for the future. So the next point is 31 and 32. So when it comes to retail finance, gross NPAs have gone up slightly because of these challenging times, from 8,300 crores to 115,000 crores. And if you compare the ratio, then there are only 3% of the retail finance portfolio. 15,000 crores is the gross NPA versus a portfolio of 5 lakh crores. Now, not very some, we need to pay attention and we need to be aware. So as far as your road, ports and telecom infrastructure is concerned, gross NPAs are only 2,176 crores. So probably we have very little lending to companies like Vodafone Idea. And the thing is, if you have lent substantial amount to one such institution, you will have sleepless nights, and our MD would have sleepless nights. So the next thing is the bank carries substantial excess liquidity throughout the year 2020-21. I think this is the right thing to do. You need to conserve the resources, pay slightly less dividend, raise additional capital, and have sufficient buffer so that you are able to weather through the difficult times. And this is a very healthy sign. So then the next point is, so as far as the cost control is concerned, the earlier speaker has already covered the area. The employee cost probably has gone down because of the allowances and things like that. I don't think there is wage cutting, or we have cut down the salaries of the employees. I don't think we would like to take such a demotivating step. And another important thing as far as your business is concerned, average cost of funds is down 5.09% last year to 4.25% this year. So this is what has helped us, to bring on these exceptional results, super results. So the next point is as far as dealing with the pandemic, slightly out of context, but I read today morning that New Zealand imposed a 3-day strict lockdown after the country's first coronavirus, and the first coronavirus case in 6 months. And the thing is, the new case is suspected to be a Delta variant. So this is the kind of challenge, tough decisions you have to make to ensure that the losses are kept to the minimum. And so last but not the least, there are too many points to cover. And I would not like to take the time of my shareholders, to go on and on. This point is investor service. So my friend was telling me that his sister had a dividend warrant which was expired. 7 years have passed or about to pass. He or she sent an email giving the details, and the hard copy is there to follow. Before the hard copies reached the investors, our registrars, the dividend was in the bank account of the investor. Such a superb investor service. You trust your employees, you trust your investors, you trust your shareholders, and we trust you, the entire board and the entire ICICI team. So thank you and wish you all the best for the future. And next year we make much better results. So I'm confident. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shah, for sharing your thoughts and views and for attending the AGM. Thank you very much. I now invite speaker number 4, Mr. Tamal Kumar Majumdar, who is joining us from Kolkata. Mr. Majumdar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, audible. Yes, please.
After nearly 53 weeks, we are meeting, sir. Last time we actually met on 14th August, I think. So after 53 weeks, good afternoon, Mr. Chaturvedi, Mr. Bakshi, CFO Mr. Rakesh Jha, and other directors of the Kava Bank. Nice to see all of you in good health and spirit. Myself, Tamal Kumar Mazumdar, an equity shareholder from Kolkata. My special thanks to our company secretary Ranga and his team for maintaining cordial relationship with shareholders, and they also helped me to join today's meeting and take part in the deliberations. And thank you, Mr. Bakshi, for sharing such fantastic presentation. Sir, I have gone through the entire annual report of 318 pages, all subsidiaries accounts, and F20 report of 569 pages, and as well as Q1 report of Q1 of financial year 22. And seek your indulgence like last year to ask certain questions. Sir, despite the pandemic, our bank declared good results during financial year 22, 21, and Q1 of financial year 22. On standalone segment results showed that our bank's wholesale banking and treasury declared excellent results. And with the help of a profit of 3,670 crores on account of self-investments, our company is in a position of our bank was in a position to declare better results during the current year. I want to know what is this expectation for the remaining part of the year. Sir, with an EPS diluted of 23.67 per equity share of ₹2 each during financial year 21, the bank, considering the current scenario, thought it prudent not to declare the higher dividend. I wholeheartedly support it with the hope that it will be compensated coming year with higher dividend. Want to know your views? The statutory auditor put the impact on COVID pandemic uncertainties under emphasis of matter. Noticing better current COVID scenario during financial year, noticing the better COVID scenario during Q1 of financial year 22, the bank write back a COVID provision of 1,050 crores in its, and considering processing of vaccination of 55 crores, would you believe that the remaining provision of 6,425 crores on account of COVID-19 pandemic as of 31st June 2021 is sufficient to meet any further development? Mr. Bakshi assured us it is enough. Despite that, I am asking that question. In case any negative development took place, sir, will our bank management will be able to cope with successfully? And please share your thoughts in this regard, sir. Sir, it is nice to note that the bank has a healthy CASA deposit of 4,317 billion as on 31st March 2021. The positive trend continued in Q1 of financial year 22 also. Actually, a high percentage of CASA deposit as well as reduction in savings interest by 50 basis points during financial year 21 helped it to decrease its cost on savings deposit to 3.16% from 2020 98 financial year 20 figure of 3.63 in financial year 20. Whether the bank will be able to decrease it further from 3.16%, which they achieved during financial year 21 during the current year, and or at least keep the 3.16% intact during the whole year of financial year 22. I seek your and I want to know your position in this regard. And sir, taking into account the RBI current account rules to be effective from 1st November 2021, do you believe that it will decrease number as well as total amount from the current deposit? Sir, as per segment results in page 175, though retail banking segment contributed less than last year, from 8,993 crores in financial year 20 to 7,740 crores in financial year 21. Its wholesale banking segment and treasury segment declared excellent results during financial year 21 with profit excluding unallocables of 5,820 crores and 11,080 crores respectively, in comparison to only 537 crores as regards wholesale in banking is concerned during financial year 20 and 5,055 crores on account of treasury during financial year 20. Your expectation from all segments during the financial year 22, sir. I want to know your expectation. Sir, our fee income decreased by 7.7% during financial year 21 at 126.59 billion against financial year 20's figure of 137.11 billion due to lower borrowings and investment activity and lower consumer spends. Company declared it there. What is the trend during Q1 of financial year 22 and your expectation from the remaining part of the year? Sir, during financial year 21, our rupee loan increased to 87.4% of total gross loan, and foreign currency loan represented a decrease to 12.6% during financial year 21 of overseas operation, mainly in UK and Canada. Net interest margin on rupee portfolio decreased to 4.23% in financial year 21 to against 4.31 in financial year 20. And as regards foreign currency portfolio is concerned, interest margin decreased to from 0.67% to 0.59%. And net interest margin and overall net interest margin also decreased from 3.8% to 3.75% during financial year 21. What was the trend during Q1 of financial year 22? And here also your expectation from the remaining part of the year. Sir, it is noted that in Q1 of financial year 22, the bank changed its provisioning policy on NPS to make it more conservative. As a result of the change, an impact of 1,127 crores on provision increase in 1,127 crores in Q1 of financial year 22. This is a fantastic step and I wholeheartedly support it as it will strengthen the balance sheet of our bank. Your view, please, sir. And sir, retail loan portfolio in page 128 of the annual report contributed 43.8% of the total loan. Last year it was 40.5%. Out of total retail loans, 5,049 billion as on 31st March 2021. Home loan contributed 2,490 billion rupees or 48.7% of the total retail loan. And credit cards contributed 183 million, that consists and that comes to 3.6% of the total retail loan. Page 131 showed that gross NPA, non-performing assets, in retail loan increased to a whopping 151 billion or 37% of gross NPA in financial year 21 against 83 million or 20% of gross NPA in financial year 20. What is the contribution of home loans, credit cards and rural loans in the abnormal increase of gross NPA during financial year 21? And what steps the management has taken to stem the rot? How it fared during Q1 of financial year 22, sir? Sir, RBI actually banned HDFC Bank for issuing credit cards for the period December 2020 to mid-August of 2021 for some technical glitches. Whether the ban helped us in increasing our card business during financial year 21 and Q1 of financial year 22, and how they meet the challenge of re-entry of HDFC Bank, HDFC credit card in the market. Sir, profit from ICICI Bank Canada and ICICI Bank UK PLC during financial year 21 decreased substantially due to decrease in core operating profit. PAT of financial year 21 of ICICI Bank Canada was 1.13 billion, rupee 1.13 billion against last year's figure of rupee 2.17 billion, nearly half. And as regards UK is concerned, it booked a profit of 1.1 billion rupees against last year's figure of 1.64 billion rupees. What is the current position as regards UK and Canadian operation is concerned? Your thoughts, please, sir. Sir, Mr. Deepak Parekh in the chairman's letter to the shareholders of HDFC Limited, detailed the issue of poaching of home loans customers by other players in the market. Whether our bank lost substantial customers due to such poaching by other players, or whether our bank is also a part of the game. Please share your thoughts in this regard, sir. Sir, whether the MasterCard ban by the RBI hit our bank also. Please share your thoughts in respect of its impact on our financials and how to cope with these problems. Sir, in page 218 of the annual report displayed a grim picture as regards frauds are concerned. Sir, Mr. Chitale is there in the meeting as the audit committee chairman, and also another director is present who is monitoring the fraud. I want to mention to them that during financial year 21, though number of frauds decreased from 1,549, but the amount involved increased abnormally from 9,473 crores to in financial year 20 to a massive 11,839 crores in financial year 21. And during the last 2 years, the bank lost a massive 21,132 crores. Despite the audit committee, despite the fraud monitoring committee, our bank lost 21,312 crores due to fraud. For a renowned bank like ICICI, this trend is really alarming. What step the bank has taken to stem the rot? I want to know a bank's position from the the fraud monitoring committee chairman as well as the audit committee chairman in this regard, because issue is massive fraud is there. And what the software updation for early detection of frauds? Whether the bank has taken steps against its official employees responsible for this fraud? And sir, when the other banks are increasing their number of branches, ATMs network, our bank decreased its total number of branches, ATMs, from 5,324 branches and 15,688 ATMs as on 31st March 2022, 5,266 branches and 14,136 ATMs as on 31st March 2021. What is the reason for such decrease in number of branches ATMs? It is due to increase in the digital business or any other matter. So what is the bank's policy in this regard? And sir, Videocon Group loan imbroglio gave a bad name to the bank. It is noted that the Vedanta Group took over the company from NCLT with a haircut of more than 90%. I think nearly 96%. And it is also reported that the banks are now asking for a slice of Videocon's oil assets, around 15,000 crores. What was the total loss borne by us as regards Videocon loan is concerned? So more than 90% haircut. And whether our bank also is a party to the claim Videocon oil assets. And sir, during financial year 21, a massive 15,442 crores added to share premium in page 151. Massive 15,442 crores added to share premium due to issue of shares on QIP and conversion of ESOPs into equity, making the closing balance of share premium as 48,833 crores as of 31st March 2021. And in addition to that, there is a positive profit and loss balance of 31,009 crores as of 31st March 2021. Sir, against an equity of 691.60 crores equity of ₹2 each. Whether the management has any thinking rewarding its shareholders against that huge free reserves in the coming years. And lastly, sir, it is noted from page 20F 149 that the bank kept a provision of 61.5 crores against claim outstanding of ₹140 crores against 525 cases as on 31st March 2021. Where unfavorable outcome deemed probable. Bank mentioned the word where unfavorable outcome deemed probable. What is the present status now? And lastly, sir, I want to say about one subsidiary that is doing exceedingly well, that is ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. Last year, it is nice to note that the insurance company made a loss due to payment of 499 crores on account of COVID claims and provisioning an extra 500 crores. I think due to this, the company is in strong footing under Mr. Kanan's leadership. And I hope it will do better and better in the coming years. Thank you all for patient hearing. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
For giving me the option.
Thank you, Mr. Majumdar, for sharing your thoughts and views and for attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 5, Ms. Celestine Elizabeth. Ms. Elizabeth.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, it's
Am I
audible.
audible?
Please go ahead. Please.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman Girish Chandra Chaturvedi, MD and CEO Sandeep Bakshi and other honorable directors and my fellow shareholders attending this virtual. I am Mrs. C. Mascarenas, attending from Mumbai. Now I have to first thank the company's secretary Ranganathan Athreya and his team, especially Vinny and others, for sending me an AGM report and also registering my request to speak and also giving me this platform to express my points and my views. I would definitely like, sir, a physical copy because being old, I have my online reading, my eyes start watering. So this year it's okay, I anyhow read. So at least in future, sir, you at least for senior or me, at least a physical copy. Please send a physical copy. Anyway, thanks a lot. Now I come directly to the working. PPT pad up and all our figures are very good. Performance is good according to me. CAR 19.12, NIM 3.69. Total deposits have gone up by 21%. CASA ratio is good. Retail loan going up year to year by 20%. That's all good. And more important is in this crisis also, you have given a dividend of 2 rupees. Of course, we all feel we should get a good dividend, but then there are certain other expenses and all, we can understand it. But what I'm very happy is the market capitalization. Our market is very bullish on this bank and they're very happy. So we are the most popular one now, you know. Now I admire the good vision, mission and value statement of the bank. I also congratulate for all the awards and accolades received. I will not name any of them. Also, I appreciate the CSR work, which is already well documented in the report. So my queries. My first one, see, we are doing now loan, we are taking online. I would like to know what is the percentage of online loan to the total loan book and the average age of such borrowers. Then second one, how do we take care of all the cyber security and especially hacking the accounts and credit cards and whatnot? How do we take care and whether we have one full department attending to this? So please throw some light. So how many accounts were restructured under COVID-2 as per the government directive? Numbers only, I don't need amounts and all. So what was the total amount of the penal? Second one is, what is the total amount of the penal interest, that is interest on interest in these moratorium accounts, which were refunded to the borrower? You can just, due to the government directive and support. So you can give me how many borrowers and what is the amount refunded? Next is, so we are highest market share in FAS tag. 35% is our market share. So how much margin we get on this fast tag, you know? So what revenue we get from UPI transactions? We do a lot of UPI transactions, which has increased by 3.3 times. So what is the average rate of interest on SME and retail loans, and what is the percentage of the loan book? Next is, in rural banking, do we have anything like a priority sector? Earlier in nationalized bank, we had to give 40% to the priority sector and 60% to others. Do we have something like that? So lastly, a little more. I am looking out for some unlocking of shareholder value. Like you had listed in companies already. What about listing further? Because the market is very strong and very savvy. So like ICICI Home Finance or Venture, ICICI Venture. Will you just throw some light? What is the future roadmap for the bank for the next 3 years? With this, I have supported all the resolutions. I wish this bank great. Wish all of you all to have good health so that you will reward us more and more by performing very well. I offer my thanks to all the ICICI for doing such a wonderful job. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Yes, I am
Th- Thank you,
I-
thank you, Miss Mascarenes. Thank you very much. In fact, at this juncture, I would request all the other remaining speakers to be very brief in their assertion. That will save a lot of time for others also. We would like to listen to all these speakers who have expressed their desire to speak in this meeting. With this, I invite speaker number 6, Mr. Bimal Bhatt from Vadodara. Mr. Bhatt.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are
Honorable
audible.
Chairman. Okay, Honorable Chairman, respected Executive Directors, Non-Executive Director, and Independent Director. First of all, hearty congratulations for one of the most excellent results on all fronts, that is financial as well as non-financial. I would like to say my observations about the human resources of our bank, particularly those who are working at a grassroots level. They are always performing more than 100%. I salute them. Their commitment, never say die approach, the politeness, and more importantly, always ready to guide the senior citizens. Heads up to you. I hope Nomination and Remuneration Committee, apart from looking to the senior management, they must be looking to the grassroots level employees, because it's nothing but demographic dividend to present as well as the future time. I don't have any query. The annual report as usual, and more important, this year's ESG report is also exceedingly well, because Sandeep Batra and other knows me. The conscious capitalism is at the core at my heart, and I think bank is taking care exceedingly well. I have only one observation about the visibility of our leaders in the media, so as to give comfort, additional commitment to the stakeholders. I can give you an example of Honorable Chairman of Maruti Suzuki, Mr. R.C. Bhargava. He is always there to promote as well as protect the Maruti brand. Why can't we have that visibility? Honorable Chairman, you are a banking expert. You have decades of experience in finance ministry and banking. Why can't we see you every month? It enhance our reputation, goodwill, and the brand. And we are doing so much good things. And another thing about the executive directors, we have the stalwarts. I know Mr. Batra can confirm, I know him since 2002, 19 years relationship. And I always believe in co-creation for a better society. So this is what I personally believe, and that should enhance the further commitment and capability of the people, which I feel, particularly when we have the Rama Madam in our board, a brand wizard and communication expert. So this is all from my side. Thank you very much, sir, and have a good day and take care of all our seniors as well as juniors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatt. Thank you very much for your views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 7, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf from Kolkata. Mr. Saraf.
Namaskar.
Yes. Audible. Yes, please go ahead.
माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, उपस्थित निधि सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयर भाइयों बहनों, जो आज हम वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के थ्रू प्रेजेंट है, मैं संतोष कुमार साहब कलकत्ता से बोल रहा हूँ सर। सर्वप्रथम आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। आशा करता हूँ सर, आप जितने भी हमारे डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी हमारे अधिकारीगण हैं और जितने भी हमारे एम्प्लॉई हैं, जहाँ भी हैं, वह इस समय सुरक्षित और स्वस्थ होंगे सर। एक मैं उन भाइयों के लिए अपनी संवेदना प्रकट करना चाहता हूँ चेयरमैन साहब, जो इस कोविड के अंदर में हमें छोड़ के चले गए या उनके कोई लव वंस हमें छोड़ के चले गए। मैं उन भाइयों बहनों के लिए अपनी संवेदना प्रकट करते हुए तो भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे और आराम से उनको शांति प्रदान करे। और मैं ये भी प्रार्थना करता हूँ उनके परिवार के जो पीछे में रह गए हैं, उनको हिम्मत दे, साहस दे, जिससे वो दुख भरी घड़ी से उभर के वापस अपनी नॉर्मल लाइफ में आ सके सर। ये मेरी भगवान से बहुत दिल से प्रार्थना है। एक सर मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, आपने इस भी कोविड के टाइम में जबकि आदमी का रिस्ट्रिक्शन है, फिर भी आपने हमें डिविडेंड दिया सर। इसके लिए मैं आपको मैनेजमेंट को धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। एक सबसे बड़ा धन्यवाद इसलिए देना चाहूँगा सर कि आपने 16 एडवार्ड जीते एनर्जी इफेंसिव के एनर्जी बचाने में आपको 16 एडवार्ड CCI ने दिए सर। बहुत बड़ा ग्रेट अचीवमेंट है सर। ये मैं पहली बार इतनी मीटिंग अटेंड कर 200 से ज्यादा मीटिंग अटेंड की है। ये पहली बार देखा कि इस तरह का अवार्ड किसी कंपनी को दिया गया सर। इसके लिए मैं उन कर्मचारियों के लिए और उन मैनेजमेंट के लिए धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, जिनकी मेहनत के कारण हमें 16 अवार्ड मिले सर। एक नहीं, दो नहीं, 16। मैं उनके लिए उनको नमस्कार भी करता हूँ सर। और सर ये है कि आपका फ्यूचर में न्यू ब्रांच कितने खोले इस साल बताइएगा, और कितने एम्प्लॉय ऐड किए हैं और कितने फीमेल एम्प्लॉय ऐड किए इस साल वो भी बताइएगा सर। और सर जो कासा डिपॉजिट अपनी है उसमें सेविंग्स डिपॉजिट का कितना परसेंटेज है, अगर अवेलेबल है तो जरूर बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर। एक सर ये है कि सिंगल यूज जो प्लास्टिक है सर, उसको कम से कम अपने बैंकों में यूज हो, उसके लिए क्या कदम उठा रहे हैं। सिंगल यूज में आजकल लोग कहते हैं कि जो पानी की बोतल होती है वो सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक में आने लग गई, तो उसको एक बार यूज करो थ्रो कर देते हैं। मैं चाहूंगा कि कम से कम बैंक ब्रांच को इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया जाए जिससे वह पानी की बोतल की जगह कांच की बोतल यूज करें, जिससे क्या है कि स्वास्थ्य में भी अच्छा रहेगा और काफी अच्छा रहेगा सर। ये जरूर है कि इसको टैकल करना मुश्किल है, फिर भी आदत हो जाएगी सर। हम एक जमाने में कांच की बोतल में सब कुछ करते थे सर। मैंने बचपन में दूध भी कांच की बोतल में पिया सर, मेरे को आज तक याद है। और सर मैं ये कहूँगा कि जैसे आपके जितने भी एम्प्लॉय, करीबन आपके यहाँ 98,000 एम्प्लॉय हैं सर, तो उनमें कितने परसेंट एम्प्लॉय को वैक्सीन लग चुकी है? उनकी नहीं, उनके परिवार को भी सर। कारण कि वो परिवार के साथ में रहेंगे तो उनके परिवार को भी लगना जरूरी है सर। और सर मैं एक जानना चाहूंगा सर, आप तो बहुत अच्छे समझदार आदमी है, जिन्होंने अभी तक वैक्सीन नहीं ली है सर, उनके पे कार्रवाई थोड़ा कड़ा मैंने कदम उठाते हुए उनको बोलिए जब तक आप वैक्सीन नहीं लेते हो आपको ब्रांच में आने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप घर पे बैठ के काम करिए। उससे क्या उनकी भावना आएगी। और कोई बोलता मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है और मेरे तो बोलिए आप पैसे नहीं, प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल दीजिए, वो पैसे हमारी बैंक रिसम्बर करेगी, जिससे हम देश की जल्दी से जल्दी सब इच्छा पूर्ति कर सकेंगे सर। सर काफी लोगों ने काफी प्रश्न किया, हमारे तमाल साहब ने तो काफी प्रश्न किए, उतना तो मैं पढ़ता भी नहीं, उतना मेरे पास समय भी नहीं पढ़ने के लिए, तो इसलिए कि उसके पास ज्यादा प्रश्न नहीं करता। सर एक दो चीज मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि अभी देखिए अपने जो वाटर की क्राइसिस बहुत ज्यादा है, तो अपने जहाँ जहाँ ब्रांच है या अपनी बिल्डिंग है वहाँ रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग के बारे में आपने क्या व्यवस्था की है बताइए, जिससे हम फ्रेश वाटर को कम से कम यूज कर सकें और यूज करके पुराने वाटर को यूज कर सकें। सर ग्रीन एनर्जी के लिए, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के लिए क्या कदम उठाए, जहाँ अपने ब्रांच खुद अपनी बिल्डिंग के अपने खुद के हैं वहाँ मैंने आपने सोलर पैनल की व्यवस्था की हो या कोई अदरवाइज कुछ किया हो तो उसके बारे में बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर। और सर ये जो थर्ड वेव अभी आने वाली इसके पहले तो आप तैयार होंगे जरूर, आशा करते इसके पहले आपने क्या कदम उठाए अगर हो तो बताने का कष्ट करिएगा सर। और ज्यादा मैं समय नहीं लूंगा सर, मुझे देख के बताइएगा, मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट कि अभी वुमेन की परसेंटेज आपके यहाँ 31% है सर, 31,059 है। तो मैं चाहूंगा वुमेन को ज्यादा से ज्यादा इन्वॉल्वमेंट करिए, है क्योंकि अभी वुमेन को अगर इन्वॉल्वमेंट करते हमने तो देश की भी उनकी, हमारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर का भी विजन नहीं है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा वुमेन को इन्वॉल्वमेंट किया जाए। अभी देखिए वुमेन को मैं समझता कमजोर मत समझिए, वो 115 किलो वजन उठा सकती है सर, वो बॉक्सिंग में फाइट कर सकती है, मेडल ला सकती है सर, वो कुश्ती में मेडल ला सकती है सर। उनको कमजोर में वो पहली वाली उम्र नहीं है घर में चूल्हा जलाती चलती सर। तो मैं चाहूंगा बैंक में ज्यादा करिए कि इसके में कई फायदे, तो देश की उन्नति होगी, हमारे घर की भी, समाज की भी उन्नति होगी, और हमारे घर में जो बच्चे हैं उनको भी अच्छी तरह शिक्षा दे सकेंगे, उनकी भी उन्नति होगी, भविष्य मतलब देश को भविष्य मिलेगा सर। तो मैं प्रार्थना करता हूँ आप उसका याद कीजिए सर। और मैं ज्यादा समय न लेते हुए आपके गिरीश बहुत लंबी उम्र की कामना करता हूँ, और मैं जानता हूँ आप जिस तरह से हमारे बैंक को चला रहे हैं, फ्यूचर में सर हमारे काफी अच्छा डिविडेंड मिलेगा। और सर हमारे जो म्यूचुअल फंड ब्रांचेज है, जो इंश्योरेंस के जो है, और जो जनरल इंश्योरेंस की जो सब्सिडी है, काफी अच्छा जो उन्होंने रिजल्ट दिया सर। बाकी तो अभी कोविड का टाइम है तो परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ा खराब हो गई, क्योंकि वर्क फ्रॉम होम करना पड़ता है, पर्सनल क्लाइंट के पास जा नहीं सकते सर, पर्सनल क्लाइंट के पास डील नहीं करते। मैं भी आपका एजेंट हूँ मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड के अंदर में, तो काफी तकलीफ होती है मैं इंटरव्यू करने के लिए। तो भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ एक बार फिर से कि हमारे चेयरमैन साहब, हमारे जितने भी डायरेक्टर हैं, तो जितने भी अधिकारीगण हैं, और जितने भी हमारे स्टेक होल्डर हैं जो हमारी बैंक की ग्रोथ में पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, चाहे वो क्लाइंट हो चाहे, कि लंबे भविष्य की कामना करता हूँ। और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ ये फाइनेंशियल 2021 उनके लिए हेल्दी, वेल्दी, प्रोस्पेरियस और सेफ है, ये प्रार्थना करते हैं। भक्त समाज लास्ट में एक रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे, ये वीडियो कंपनी मीटिंग कंटिन्यू रखे सर, ये वीडियो कॉल कार्य नहीं, हम कलेक्टर से बात कर सकते हैं, अदरवाइज बॉम्बे जाके मीटिंग करना हमारे लिए पॉसिबल नहीं होता है। तो अगर आप वीडियो कॉल नहीं भी करते हैं तो सर 15-20 मिनट के लिए अलग से सेशन रखिए, बाहर वाले शेयर होल्डर की, क्या आपके ऑल इंडिया में शेयर होल्डर बॉम्बे में नहीं है, तो मैं आपसे करता हूँ कि आप इसको रखिए। जय भारत से बताने के लिए आप सबको
थैंक यू,
धन्यवाद सर।
धन्यवाद सराफ साहब आपको अपने विचार व्यक्त करने के लिए और इस बैठक को एजीएम अटेंड करने के लिए। आई नाउ इनवाइट स्पीकर नंबर 8 मिस्टर SP भेसानिया फ्रॉम मुंबई। मिस्टर भेसानिया।
Sir, can you hear me?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ ठीक, अब आ।
Chairman sir, I'm asking from Bombay. So it's nice to see all our directors in good health, and I appreciate the decision of the management to show the speaker number next to the name of the speaker. So I appreciate the gesture of Mr. Bakshi of not taking any remuneration as mentioned on page 73 of the annual report. I hope he didn't pay income tax on the amount he would have received as income, just as customers pay GST, even if ICICI doesn't charge us bank charges. Even if ICICI doesn't charge me bank charges on services offered to me, I have to pay GST on the assumed bank charges. So ICICI Group has donated rupees 80 crore to PM CARES Fund. I am sure ICICI Foundation and our employees would have done a better job with accountability. So I congratulate the entire management for excellent results. During the year, NIM has been maintained as compared to previous year, which is very good considering the pandemic. We have done very well even in Q1. Treasury segment has done very well. In Q1, core operating profit grew 23% year on year. So why retail profit has reduced from 2758 crores to only 389 crores year on year? Is it due to increase in provisions? So in Q1, net NPA was 1.16%, which is excellent considering the economy degrew. So dividend of rupees 2 is welcome. However, we could have skipped a dividend this year also and plowed back the amount. So instead of QIP, you can come with a rights issue in future. So everyone is talking about digitization, but nobody is talking about hacking. Please inform how many times our programs, especially the credit card and net banking programs, have been hacked during the year ended March 2021. So thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Besania, for sharing your thoughts and views and attending the AGM. Thank you very much. I now invite speaker number 9, Mr. Ashit Kumar Pathak from Kolkata. Mr. Pathak.
Yes, am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. You are audible. Yes.
Very good. A very good afternoon. At first, my best wishes for good health, happiness and prosperity to respected chairman, MD, CEO, board of directors, company secretary, staff, fellow members joining at 27th AGM, ICICI Bank Limited. My name is Ashit Kumar Pathak from Damdam, Kolkata. At first, my esteemed gratitude to company secretary, Mr. Ranganath Atheya and secretarial department for sending me the notice of 27th AGM and annual report by mail very well in advance. Also allowed to me speak. Also thanks to Mr. Dhananjay Kandegli for his enhanced cooperation to members. I have successfully casted for 11 resolutions mentioned in the notice. Thanks to NSDL also. Very nice video representations about our business portfolios. I also noticed and note all these points. And excellent delivery from MD, CEO, Mr. Sandeep Bakshi. Excellent representation from his side, the strategies and roadmap. I like to share some of views. At first, Mr. Mojumdar mentioned that for monitoring, RBI also asked banks to ensure that employees working in sensitive position has to go on a surprise leave at least 10 days. The maker-checker approach incorporating policy of staff rotation. My view is that my bank also follow these guidelines. The next year's roadmap and strategies from my bank, but there are ongoing private banks, next IDBI Bank. Government will also privatize 2 banks. Many microfinance startups, potential NBFCs, and potential housing finance companies are in our domestic market. Mostly potential peril exists in retail segments by uprising their business. My question is also Union government budget session declared very initiative for banking business, states assets recap, Atmanirbhar Bharat package, also budget allocations goal for monetized asset, export to 100 nations, and subsidy to startups. And also DICGC increased up to 5 lakh, but bank deposit, term deposit cash will be increased. So strategies and roadmap, also our CapEx program in digitalization, net banking, AI, robotic, and rural segment digitalization. If possible, throw some highlight. Also, RBI provided 50,000 crore liquidity window for health, infra, also 50,000 crores liquidity window in service sectors. I think my bank also already taking this opportunity. Also, RBI cautioned banks on small beach retail loans declining. There are incipient signs, risk of stress in the MSME and retail segment. Also, our retail banking also decreased, mentioned, previous speaker mentioned, also in annual report it mentioned. So throw some highlight, future roadmap by bank after this comment from central bank. Next, financial performance, very nice, no doubt, very nice, and also giving dividend to members. previous year, RBI also stopped to payment dividend, and treasury income is also nice, 50.46 billion against 12.93. Also, net worth increased than previous year. Capital adequacy ratio 19.12% against 16.11. Nice financial performance. Also, Q1 financial performance respected. MD also mentioned, he noted this point. And also, sir, in March 21, Honorable Supreme Court lifted the bar on loans being classified as a NPS, and actual data became available to enable RBI to do stress test based on the regular methodology. Any positive or negative impact in my bank's operation, if possible, throw some highlight. Also in FSR report, 1st July 21, RBI has for the first time taken points to point out that the scenarios are hot forecasts and are only indicative of the possible economic impairment latent in the bank's portfolio, with implications for capital planning projection of all scheduled commercial banks, where gross NPA under stress scenario March 22 baseline will be 9.8, medium stress 10.4, severe stress is 11.2, impact in stepping growing. RBI also said capital on bank enough for meet the severe stress scenario. For some highlights about our bank's business remaining quarter financial 22 after the APSR report. Also independent auditor report page 140. Our gross NPA is higher than previous year. 40 lakhs, 4 lakh 84,414 million against 4 lakh 8,291, and provision on NPA 3 lakh 17,238 million against 3 lakh 9,058. If possible, throw some highlight about this. Also, sir, some disqualification to be noticed here. Page 84 present status of adjudication order issued by SEBI 12 September 2019 imposing penalty 10 lakh with the bank merged with Rajasthan, Bank of Rajasthan, and filed the counter affidavit before Honorable Supreme Court February 21. Present status of this. Also regarding delaying in compliance to RBI directions in time-bound implication of strengthening SWIFT related contracts, 10 million penalty was levied. So my view is strengthen the compliance related matters from my bank side also. I have final two last point. What is the present development status of ICICI Prudential Life Insurance? Profit after tax is lowering than previous year. Also HFC housing finance is very nice performance, but NPA increased than previous year. Also ICICI Bank Canada, not good performance. And sir, throw some highlight the core initiative of ICICI's track in related capex program. Sir, my bank has already international business of branches, various branches, Hong Kong, US, and the strong reason behind the reduction of non-India linked exposures. It mentioned also revenue from foreign operations also reduced than previous year. And also, sir, Indian Banks Association on behalf of lenders has approached to the finance minister to refund the burden on their shoulders due to recent judgment on the waiver of compound interest of all loans. Accounts were opted for moratorium during March to August 20. Sir, my view is that my bank also faced this problem also, and borrowers with loan of 50 crore are eligible for roll restructuring, which allows them to delay repayment without being classified defaulters. Any positive or negative impact in my bank operation? If possible, throw some highlight. And finally, higher debit bounces May 21 point to retail stress according to the data of MPCI. 35% of the debit transactions are bounced. Any impact happened in our business operation? Nothing to say more. Expected enhanced financial year by the leadership of our chairman and managing director, Mr. Sandeep Bakshi, and rewarding policy to members also. Previous speakers also raised this. Thanking you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pathak, for sharing your thoughts and views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 10, Ms. Lekha Shah from Mumbai. Ms. Lekha Shah.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes, audible.
Thank you, sir. Respected Chairman, sir, Board of Directors, and my fellow members, good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Lekha Shah from Mumbai. First of all, I would like to say that I am very much thankful to our Company Secretary, Mr. Ranganathan ji, especially Sherin Thomas ji, for sending very good investor services and also sending me the annual report by email well in time in such a difficult situation, which is full of knowledge, fact and pickets in place. So I am very grateful to our company secretary Ranganathan ji, especially Shirin Thomas ji. Times are tough and unpredictable currently. I am sure that our bank has the ability to deliver growth and increase the shareholders' value in the coming years has been demonstrated this year. Thank you, Sandeep ji, for this informative presentation. Sir, I am happy to see all the good deeds you have done during this tough time. I pray to God that He always shower His blessing upon you. I would like to thank to all persons of bank are receiving awards and recognition by the various plans during the year 2021. And also, I am happy the bank is doing very well in the field of CSR activities. Sir, I would like to ask few questions. My first question is, how is the bank preparing itself in a post-COVID world? My second question is, for our bank employees, brothers and sisters, in which way are supporting our bank employees they are to COVID worries? My third question is, how is our bank operating? Are we operating from home or they are working from the office? My third question is, how many of our employees were affected by COVID-19? My fifth question is, what are the learning from the lockdown and how is the bank implementing those learning? So I would like to say, I strongly propose all the resolutions for today's meeting and my best wishes always our bank and its prosperity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Shah, for sharing your views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 11, Mr. Rajesh Chainani. Mr. Chainani from Mumbai. Mr. Rajesh Chainani.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Respected Chairman Girish Chandra ji, highly distinguished Board of Directors, and my fellow shareholders, myself Rajesh Chainani from Mumbai. So first of all, I thank our Company Secretary, Mr. Ranganathan ji, for sending the notice well on time, sir, and the very good work of the Secretarial Department, sir. In this time of video calling, they have been in touch with us. We got ourselves checked also. So, and second thing, sir, the bank has really worked very hard, sir, very hard. Our price was very low at 334, and today look at the price of the share, sir, is 700 cross we have done high. तो सर यही कहूँगा इस बार तो सर अब की बार तो 1000 के पार सर गिरीश जी अब की बार 1000 के पार. So second thing I would like to say, we have a very good holding. The insurance companies, the mutual funds have a full confidence in our bank, sir. And bank has been really performing well. Because being in Mumbai, now I am going to the branches, the attendance has been quite good, sir. Who would have thought, sir, few years back we were struggling a lot, sir. We were in a lot of mess, we were in a lot of struggle. But sir, with your leadership and the entire board of directors, sir, we have really come out from the very hard times, sir. तो यही कहूँगा सर, उम्र थका नहीं सकती, ठोकरें गिरा नहीं सकती, अगर जिद हो जीतने की तो परिस्थितियां भी हारा नहीं सकती सर. And I have one more word, sir, because this I didn't get the opportunity to come to the AGMs, so because of this video conferencing, I'm being able to join the AGM. But I feel, I hope, sir, in the coming year, we would be meeting personally. So for then, for last year and this year, I have a word for sir. ना दूर रहने से रिश्ते टूट जाते हैं, ना दूर रहने से रिश्ते टूट जाते हैं और ना पास रहने से जुड़ जाते हैं. ये तो एहसास के पक्के धागे हैं जो याद करने से और मजबूत हो जाते हैं. So sir, I support all your resolutions. I had a lot of points written, but my previous shareholders have covered many points, sir. So I don't want to be repeated. And few words I have to say for the management, I have said it, sir. And I have all my support to the entire board of directors, to the bank and the secretarial department, and all our employees, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rajesh Chanani ji, for sharing your views and for attending the AGM. Thank you very much. I now invite speaker number 12, Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla from Hyderabad. Mr. Golla from Hyderabad. Yes, audible, not very clearly. Yeah. Yes.
Very good evening, respected Chairman, Girish, and our MD. And our co-directors and all of the our entire staff to welcome to you, sir. And 27th, our AGM is going on. Greetings to you, sir, all. Sir, first of all, myself, Ramesh Shankar Golla, the shareholder, I'm talking from Hyderabad. Sir, okay, sir? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, clear. Please go ahead. You are audible, clearly audible. Yeah,
right.
Please go ahead.
Very good, sir. And congratulate you, sir. Sir, ये पैंडमिक में कितना हमारे स्टाफ लोग अफेक्टेड हुआ एंड टोटल 100% वैक्सीनेशन हो गया क्या एंड नेक्स्ट सर व्हाट इज द कैपेक्स ऑफ कमिंग ईयर सर आई एम आस्किंग zero savings account to shareholders, sir. Zero balance savings account. सर इसके वजह से जो थोड़ी लोग ये बैंक में ओपन करना है तो 10,000 अमाउंट रख के ओपन करना पड़ता. We are giving to corporate employees is purely zero account we are giving, sir. Why not shareholders को क्यों नहीं देना चाहिए? दे दीजिए zero account. I am very much interested, sir, for opening zero account as a shareholder. That is, sir, for shareholders, please interest cut करो. जो vehicle loans and home loans and personal loans, please interest slash करो. तो अच्छा रेवेन्यू भी बढ़ता सर. जो खाता भी जो जीरो अकाउंट से नया शेयर होल्डर आप एक जीरो अकाउंट ओपन करने का वो एक ऑर्डर दे दिए तो बैंक से वो अच्छा सा खाता भी बढ़ जाता सर. Like, sir, we are the private sector banking is the second position. I am seeing coming year in the prime position of we are the number one in banking. ICICI, sir. I am asking, sir. But sir, what is the bonus share, sir? Please, I am asking to bonus share, sir, and right now to give me the two. जो कंपनी सेक्रेटरी के बारे में बोलना है तो बहुत अच्छा ह्यूमैनिटिक पर्सन सर इज रंगनाथन जी. कल फोन करके आप कैसा है, सभी लोग आपका फैमिली मेंबर्स कैसा है पूछा. ये इसका गौरव भी बढ़ता सर हमारा बैंक का। वो सेक्रेटरी जो ऐसा पूछने के वजह से अच्छा सा रेस्पेक्ट बढ़ता सर। वेरी हैप्पी टू मी सर। That too, I wish to all resolutions for the favor, sir. That's all, sir. Have a good day, sir. All the best to you.
Thank you, Golagaru, so for your views and attending the AGM. We move on to speaker number 13, Mr. Vijnant Singh Shrimal from Kolkata. Mr. Shrimal.
Sir, the shareholder is not connected in the meeting. We can move to the next speaker, shareholder.
Okay, so then we move on to speaker number 14, Mr. Sharat Kumar Shah from Mumbai. Mr. Shah from Mumbai.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, very clearly, very clearly.
And can you see me also?
Not as yet.
Okay. Let me.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all right. Very clearly audible. Please go ahead.
I'm very happy that chairman has got good patience. That's a very important thing. And
no, you are visible.
Apart from this,
you are visible now.
And this RTA and Secretarial Department since 2019, I'm seeing they are very cooperative. And even what happened yesterday, company secretary talked to me, and it was nice to hear from him. And when a company secretary talks to a shareholder, it is always good for a shareholder. And he likes that company takes care of the shareholders. Another thing, what is my observation, sir, is I will prefer a registered office of ICICI in Mumbai. Page number 86, sir. What it is very important for all shareholders is the share price in this financial year is gone to up by 300 rupees, which is like the price becoming double, sir. Another thing, sir, I refer page number 284. The 284 page is for working out or calculating the earning per share, and the profit shown or the PAT shown is 18,384 crores against last year 9,566. So this is a good profit, and I referred all pages of balance sheet. Page number 257, then that is profit and loss account 149, and all other pages I have shown referred. But for my reference, I will only take profit as 18,384, which is used for calculation of earning per share, and other places what is mentioned I will just ignore. Another thing, sir, our earning per share is calculated is 27.26 against 14.61 previous year. Sir, the balance sheet is with 00 figures. Then again, first thing, sir, I don't know how many zeros on 1,000, lakhs and crores. So 00 becomes very difficult. We are very comfortable with millions, lakhs and crores, but even not comfortable with billions. So please take into account, because your balance sheet has got different units. So please continue which is comfortable to the shareholders. Another thing, sir, what I have seen, page number 257, profit and loss account. Total expenses are higher because of higher operating expenses and not because of provision interest. And the provision and interest are not in your hand. but operating expenses are in the hands of banks. So what I feel personally that to have more profit and other things, at least see that operating expenses are lowered and controlled. When I refer page number 262, what is my observation? Our borrowing is reduced by 33%. And I don't know whether borrowing is reduced is a good sign for a bank. Because when I think of borrowing, I referred to a one company which gives last 8 years 75 crores as the interest to the banks, and the company is in loss, no EPS. Still, it is running very well. And what I felt, the company which gives 75 crores to the bank is the most strong company to invest. Please explain your view, sir. Another thing, sir, I had forwarded you a page number 61 of State Bank of India, and it is only a quarter page which talks about the stress asset management, and it gives me a clear picture of the bank performance. So I would like to prefer such consolidated information and it is for 5 years. So if you can give me this type of information, I will be very happy. And another thing, I referred our financial highlights, page number 136, but the details are not that clear, like SBI highlights of page number 20. So please look into it and do it in that fashion. Another thing, sir, what is my observation? In profit, HDFC Bank is number 1, SBI's profit number 2, and our bank is number 3. And lastly, sir, the ₹2 dividend, I thought it is for previous year and this year in total. So please clarify. Thank you very much for giving me all opportunity. Another thing, sir, a very good thing what I remembered about your bank. Sir, what has happened earlier in some issues, ICICI Bank issues, people have paid partly payment and they have not paid balance payment. But ICICI was so good, whatever amount they paid, instead of forfeiting the share, against that amount, whatever eligible shares are there, ICICI has given. Whether this my information is correct or not, please highlight. And because it is useful to all shareholders, because if somebody makes partly payment, against that he should get that amount of shares. That's a good thing. So please highlight and enlighten us all shareholders about this. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shah, for sharing your views and thoughts and attending the AGM. Now I invite speaker number 15, Mr. Praful Chavda from Hyderabad. Mr. Praful Chavda.
यस सर.
Okay.
हेलो.
Please go ahead.
सर मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
ओके सर. थैंक यू सर. खास तौर पे तो मैं सर ये बात कहना चाहता हूँ कि आपकी कंपनी अपनी जो बैंक से जो भी कुछ ऑक्शन करती है 2 व्हीलर 4 व्हीलर का, वो सीज कर लेती है. सीज करने के बाद 2 इयर्स 3 इयर्स 4 इयर्स तक अपने पास रखती है और वो खटारा हो जाता है, ख़त्म हो जाती है, तभी ऑक्शन करते हैं. ऑक्शन के टाइम पे भी वो जो चीज़ जहाँ रखी सो है उसका रेंट भी लेते हैं, यानी कि उसका 3,000-4,000 रुपीज़ रेंट भी लगाते हैं. तो ये सिस्टम नहीं होना चाहिए. इमीडिएटली ऑक्शन होना चाहिए. ऑक्शन के लिए लेट नहीं करना चाहिए. और सर इसके अलावा जीरो बैलेंस में अकाउंट का मेरे एक शेयरहोल्डर ने बोले वो सही है. जीरो अकाउंट में अकाउंट ही ओपन करना चाहिए. सर पैसे देने वाला कस्टमर है, लोन लेने वाला भी कस्टमर है. तो आपके दोनों कस्टमर के लिए आपने कई ब्रांचों में पार्किंग की जगह नहीं रखे, कार पार्किंग नहीं है, 1-2 2 व्हीलर पार्किंग हो जाते हैं. ज़्यादा पार्किंग हुआ तो पुलिस वाले फोटोग्राफ लेके जाते हैं और शाम को अपने को चालान आ जाता है कि आपने इतना पैसे भर दो. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. आप एटीएम की जगह पे एटीएम रखे, वहाँ भी पार्किंग की जगह नहीं है. तो ऐसा कस्टमर को तकलीफ हो ऐसी जगह पे रखने से आप कस्टमर को क्या सर्विस देते हो? पर कस्टमर क्या करते हैं, अकाउंट है, जाना पड़ता है, चालान भी भरना पड़ता है और पैसे भी निकालना पड़ता है। ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए सर। अभी तक मैं लास्ट ईयर से अभी तक 500 से 600 मीटिंग कर चुका हूँ और मैंने देखा हूँ कि हर एक लोग 3 मिनट्स का टाइम देते हैं और आपने तो कमल कुमार मजूमदार को 16 मिनट का टाइम दे दिए। सर इतने टाइम देने के क्या मकसद है आपका? वो भी एक मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि सर एजीएम रिपोर्ट में जो बात कही गई है वो एक नहीं पर 10 या 12 या 15 सीए लिखते हैं, सीए चेक करते हैं और हर एक पॉइंट का व्यू का आपके पास रिप्लाई रहता है। तो मैं मानता हूँ कि फ्यूचर में भी स्पीकर है वो कुछ सजेशन देना चाहिए कि बैंक अच्छी कैसे चले, कैसे हो। सर बैंक के अंदर एक कंप्लेंट बॉक्स रखने के बदले सेल फोन नंबर लिखे ताकि हम वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस से या व्हाट्सएप के जरिए या टेलीग्राम के जरिए आपको जो भी कंप्लेन है फॉरवर्ड कर सके, ताकि आपको डायरेक्ट फोन से आपको मेरी कंप्लेन मिल जाए। इसमें मेरा फोटोग्राफ वीडियोग्राफ भी आ जाता है, वो सिस्टम रहने चाहिए। कंप्लेंट बॉक्स किधर है भी पता नहीं चलता है। सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए कोई बैठने के लिए खास जगह नहीं है या विंडोज नहीं है, ताकि सेलुलर जो भी सीनियर सिटीजन आएगा वो विंडो पे जाएगा तो इसका काम आसानी से हो जाएगा। उसके बारे में भी आप सोचना चाहिए। सर जो भी लोन देते हैं तो लोन देने में 2-4 ऑफिसर का साइन रहता है, 2-4 एम्प्लॉयज जो आपके हैं वो वेरीफाई करते हैं इसको लोन देना चाहिए नहीं देना चाहिए। तो लोन रिकवर नहीं होती है तो ऐसे ऑफिसर को भी पनिशमेंट देना चाहिए कि आपने क्या बेस पे इसको लोन दिए। तो लोन देने के बाद भी आप 3 मंथ 6 मंथ या 1 ईयर के अंदर वेरीफाई करें कि ये जो लोन के पैसे दिए गए हैं वो इंटरेस्ट तो आता है पर लोन के पैसे जिसके लिए लिया गया है इसमें लोन यूज हो रहा है या दूसरे कोई चीज में भी यूज करते हैं वो लोग, ऐसे भी आप देखने चाहिए। आपका विजिलेंस ब्रांच रखना चाहिए कि कोई भी लोन लेने वाले के बारे में कोई जानकारी देगा कि आदमी बोगस है तो विजिलेंस ब्रांच इसको इंक्वायरी करके आपकी बैंक उसको मिनिमम कुछ भी कम्प्लीमेंट देंगी। जैसा है कि 1 लाख रुपीस का लोन बोगस निकल गया और इसका इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिल गया तो आपको कम से कम इंफॉर्मेशन देने वाले को 5,000 2,000 या कुछ भी देना चाहिए। सर अपने बैंक में कितने ऐसे एम्प्लॉयज है जो सीनियर आर्मी से आईएसओ है, रिटायर्ड आर्मी मैन है या शहीद हुए जवानों के घर से आपको जॉब दे रहे तो वो भी बताएंगे। सर आपकी बैंक के इतना टाइम हो गया सर पर कोई भी ओलंपिक गेम खेलने वाले एम्प्लॉयज को आगे नहीं बढ़ाए, इसको हेल्प नहीं करे। CSR में इतने सारे पैसे है वो पैसे ओनली दूसरी जगह पे यूज हो जाता है जो कुछ काम नहीं आता है अपने। इसके बदले आप ओलंपिक खेलने वाले बच्चे लड़कियां हो लड़के हो इसको हेल्प करे ताकि वो नेक्स्ट फ्यूचर में जाके ओलंपिक गेम में भी कोई मेडल जीत के आए। नहीं जीतने वाले को भी आप इनाम दीजिए। क्यों बच्चे पूरे लाइफ खत्म कर देते हैं उसकी। 10 साल का बच्चा ओलंपिक में जाने की तैयारी करता हो 25 साल का होने के बाद नहीं रह सकता है और गया तो भी कुछ प्राइज नहीं लेके आ सकता है, कोई मेडल नहीं ले सकता है। तो इसको भी हेल्प करे या छोटी मोटी नौकरी दे ताकि इसको पूरी लाइफ में पापा किसी के पास मांगने को नहीं जाना पड़े और उन्हें जो आगे बढ़ा है भारत देश के लिए इसको भी सम्मान करे, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। धन्यवाद सर।
रामराज जी बहुत अपने अपने विचार रखे और AGM अटेंड किया। I now invite speaker number 16, Mr. Prakash More from Pune. Mr. More from Pune.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Am I audio?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman sir, and thank you, CFO sir, for giving good result. I think most of the speakers spoke on those numbers. I have 2 suggestions. Bank is doing wonderful, but I suggest 2 activities which could be towards CSR. One is for the COVID infected people across major cities like Mumbai. whether bank is giving some special attention under CSR. If it is not there, the bank can think of it. And second point, now recently Maharashtra was hit by flood. Whether a bank can think to help the flood affected people across Maharashtra, since Maharashtra is basically major revenue center for our bank. And third point is on this Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the plan which central government has announced. Whether bank is supporting any of these plan, at least I have suggestion. We have some bank account for girl students who are studying away from their hometown without any minimum balance criteria. It will help getting a good education, and also bank can think of education loan at a concessional route for girl child. Thank you very much. I will give special thanks to Secretarial Department to allow me to join this AGM. Specifically, Chetan Pawar, who is from Secretarial Department, made me comfortable to providing this facility. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. More, for sharing your thoughts and views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 17, Mr. K. Sadanand Sastry from Bangalore. Mr. Sastry.
Am I audible to sir?
Yeah,
Am I audible?
please. Oh, yes, you are audible.
Oh, are you seeing me?
Hello? I think you will appear after a gap.
Shall I start?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. You are clearly audible.
Good afternoon, sir. Okay, good afternoon, sir. I am Sadananda Shastri from Bangalore. I am the only person I think so. My number is 1170-2201. Sir, first of all, this virtual meeting does not serve any purpose because neither we can approach you properly nor you can reach us. In the absence of your physical annual report, it is very difficult to study in a mobile. Our observations are very, very less now. Sir, page number 10, as per your report, bank has placed under the part-time chairman. For such a big bank, why the bank has not thought of a permanent chairman? Page number 22. Wholesale banking. Nowadays, commercial banks going bankrupt. Under such conditions, bank is considering wholesale banking with other banks. What precautions the bank, that is ICICI Bank, is taking, and in the safety measures, and to avoid such eventuality and contingencies. Sir, page number 30, customer service and grievance redressal. Bank is not taking much care about customers' care. Because of laxities, depositors' investments are going to IEPF. Many of the tax savings bonds introduced decades ago have been credited to IEPF account. Despite making demand, bank has not paid the amount. The concerned department has unnecessarily harassed us. Even today, investment is lying in the bank. My application is also one among that. Still, the bank has not paid that amount. So page number 38, key risk impacting business. Report has explained the key risk taken, including employees' risk, etc. Why the bank has not taken management and board risks to curb irregularities at the top level? You know what has happened during Chanda Kocher's period. Page number 35, natural capital. Rooftop solar panel at your Ambattur building shown the bank is supporting environment and power generation. Why can't the bank adopt rooftop system at all places wherever the bank is owning the building? Page number 58, director's report. Bank treasury income is increased 4 times With these, bank performance is very well, even in pandemic period. Explore the possibilities to increase, that is treasury income in future also. Page number 135. Your subsidiaries like Canada Venture Fund are showing negative growth in profit. That is what strategy the bank will take to improve it. Page number 148. Standalone balance sheet. Bank has achieved positive lines in all the fields, but should maintain the same tempo in the coming years. Page number 201. NPA. Number of borrowers are very meager. That is only 6, but the amount outstanding is very high. What is the bank's strategy to bring it down? Page number 160. It is astonishing to note that employees' cost is reduced compared to the last year. What is the reason? The lesser provisions, if any, should not affect the current year. As far as the consolidated balance sheet, consolidated figures are sound, but the standalone is somehow weak. What is the reason? Please send me a hard copy of the annual report for my record. Thank you very much. See you again in mobile. Till then, be safe and be healthy. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shastri, for sharing your thoughts and views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 18, Mr. Swaminathan Nagappan from Tiruchirappalli. Mr. Nagappan.
Good evening, Chairman Shah.
Yes.
Good evening. In our annual report, under head pension, it is reported that pension is being paid monthly from pension fund trust created for this purpose to the ex-employees of merged banks in their retirement based on their service period and applicable salary. On this, I want to ask few questions. Question number 1, if the bank pays pension as per the agreement existing between the employees and the bank, why a writ petition is filed by the retired pensioners of erstwhile Bank of Madurai employees at the Chennai High Court? Second one, it is reported by the bank that pension is paid to the erstwhile Bank of Madurai employees on the basic pay they drawn on the merger date of Bank of Madurai with ICICI Bank, that is 10th March 2001, instead of 50% of the average of last 10 months basic pay. It is a usual practice. It is a usual process among all other banks in India. A bank is the administrator of the pension fund. Bank alone cannot decide the quantum of pension to be paid to the employees. Then how the bank fixed the lower pension to the retired employees of Bank of Madurai Limited? Third and last one, these employees are at the age of 65 and above. They have worked hard when they were in service for the growth of the bank. For one share of Bank of Madurai Limited, 2 shares of ICICI Bank was issued at the time of merger. It is clear that Bank of Madurai is a sound bank when merged with ICICI Bank. Hence, I request all the board of directors and the MD and CEO of the bank. It is very sad to note that the senior citizen employees your own employees are being treated in a bad manner. That is, they have not been paid their eligible pension. I request all the board members to consider the grievance of the ex-employees of Bank of Madurai Limited and treat them well so that they are getting the eligible pension at the earliest. It is my request. Most of the speakers also have spoken about the welfare of the employees. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nagappan, for your thoughts and views and attending the AGM. Now, I invite speaker number 19, Mr. Lakshmanan from Chennai. Mr. Lakshmanan.
Hello, I am audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Please
I
go
am audible?
ahead. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Lakshmanan, attending from Chennai. At the outset, I thank the Secretary for the opportunity given to me to speak in the AGM. After Mr. Sandeep Bakshi took charge, the performance is outstanding. Deposit is growing, retail loan book has grown, profit is increasing, NPA has come down. I congratulate him and the entire team. My query is, as Mr. Swaminathan has pointed out, it is regard to payment of pension for PF office. Some of the ex-Bank of Madurai employees have not opted for pension. However, in the industry level, second option was introduced in the year 2010. That opportunity was not extended to our ex-Bank of Madurai staff while we were in service. I request the management to consider extending the benefit of pension option and second option to the employees. Our profit is very healthy. I understand that present employees are getting good bonus and promotion is being given once in 3 years. It is good. Like that, you have to take into account the welfare of ex-employees. Also, our profit is good. We are spending a sizable amount for corporate social responsibilities. Why not we pay for our ex-staff? I request the management to consider this request. Management can be magnanimous and consider the request of paying pension to all Bank of Madurai employees. Thanks a lot. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmanan, for your views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 20, Mr. Balasaheb Baburao Patil from Pune. Mr. Patil.
Hello, hearing?
Yes, please. You are visible also, yes. Please set your audio properly. I think you are on mute.
Yeah. Hearing.
Please.
All are aware that COVID-19 pandemic situation got a setback in all the sector, including the financial sector and banking sector. But it is my observation, ICICI Bank faced the critical situation very successfully in terms of business growth and satisfactory service to customers in disciplined manner. So the image of the bank in eyes of the customers is very remarkable. In Pune, I have been observed that ICICI Bank Foundation donated one ambulance vehicle to the renowned hospital. It is very appreciable in proper time. And I have read the news also, 36 ambulance was given to the hospitals by the ICICI Bank. Just as a social point of view, I am the shareholders. I am also I am the merger of the bank. And the merger of the our bank is very smoothly. Terms and conditions, service conditions is better than earlier bank. And we are living our retired life very successfully, very happily. And the superannuation benefit of our employees getting in times as per the regulation. One of the issues was pending in the earlier bank from 13 years because of the trust formation, huge amount. very successfully and giving in time the pensions. So we are living our life very happily. Thank you, the ICICI Bank management. Thank you, sir, giving me opportunity to speak here.
Thank you, Mr. Patil, for your views and thoughts and attending the AGM. Now I move on to speaker number 21, Mr. Mahesh Ganpat Rao Bhoite from Vadodara. Mr. Bhoite from Vadodara.
Hello.
जी हाँ
Hello. Can
Yes,
you
yes,
speak,
you are
please?
audible. Please go ahead.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes,
Thank you,
yes,
sir.
please. Yeah.
I think I am visible also.
Yes,
So,
yes, you are.
Thanks for the arrangement. Now, I have with all the regards to the chairman and the board of directors, I take this opportunity for a limited time, in the sense I know that the forum in which I am speaking, I know the limitations, what I have to speak, etc. So I will be just to the point. My one point is, sir, the demat statement which I am getting regularly from ICICI Bank, which is monthly also and yearly also, there are a lot of discrepancies which I have pointed out. At the end of the statement, am I with you, sir? Are you taking in that demat statement? Yeah, they have mentioned if there is any discrepancy, please point it out to the concerned fellow. So I have done that since last 2 years, because I have got 2 yearly statements and then monthly statements also. Now I have given with example. Now see, I have contacted with our relationship manager, branch manager, Mr. Deepak Bhatia, then all this concerned fellow, head wealth management department, ICICI Bank, head service quality, ICICI Direct, regarding these discrepancies in the statement, and they are still continuing. Now nobody is attending. For example, our branch manager, who is the highest authority to me, Mr. Deepak Bhatia, now he says he has forwarded to the central team, technical team, higher authority, and then I had to wait. In that way, almost 1.5 year to 2 years have passed. And lastly, he told me, he advised me कि मिस्टर भोइटे ये कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, इसको ऐसे ही चला लो. For example, in the demat statement, the face value of equity is not mentioned. In some of them it is mentioned, while in some of them it is not mentioned, which I raised the question. Then secondly, interim dividend or final dividend, that is given in option, which I said I am not clear, because in a same statement I have got interim also and dividend also. So प्लीज मेक इट क्लियर. सो ही सेज उसमें कुछ नहीं है, आप समझ लो, काफी है, यहाँ पे कोई अटेंड नहीं कर रहा है. सो ही इज पॉइंटिंग आउट मी हिज लिमिटेशन. ही इज मिस्टर दीपक भाटिया ऑफ वडोदरा चकली सर्कल ब्रांच. Then there is a dividend column where the dividend is mentioned as 0%. Now it is not possible. In some of the companies it is mentioned as some value with percentage and value. Now these discrepancies, these are going on since last 2 years, and through all the departmental heads, branch manager, relationship manager, but sir, it is not taking place. So I thought I should raise this point to board of director, and they will take the appropriate action. So that was the one point. And secondly, in our website ICICI Bank, the chatbot is mostly of no use. That is what my point is there. Mostly when we raise the question to the chatbot, which is supposed to help customer, it is going, I am still learning, let me continue, or please take some more time. So that chatbot application, whether I am not able to understand or whether it is that means the limitation of the chatbot, etc. And the last point was, sir, like my FD fixed deposit with the ICICI Bank, which matured in July. Now I was getting okay reasonable return at that time as a senior citizen. That was one of the source of the income. But now the revised rate has become drastically down, even with the inclusion of the senior citizen allowance also 0.5 or 0.35. So I will consider, I will request you to consider it favorably for the senior citizen at least, because everywhere for the senior citizen rate of interest is going down, and that is putting us in problems, sir, because that is the only source of income which is having now, since the salary is not there. So ICICI Bank should consider this way. Now that is from my point. I have gone through all the reports of the bank and I found it very good results. Congratulations to all the team of the bank, and my heartiest congratulations to all of you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Boite. You have put across your grievance not before the board, it is before the AGM. So the highest forum of the bank.
Yes,
but thank you very much for your views and attending the
Sir,
AGM. Now I invite speaker number 22, Mr. Abhishek from Chennai. Mr. J. Abhishek.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Am I audible? And can you see me also?
Yes, you are audible. Not as yet.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
So
now you are visible also.
Shareholder of the company. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, first of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of 27th Annual General Body Meeting. Trust all is well with you and your family in this challenging situation. Our bank deserves much more respect than the current market cap. After completing more than a decade of successful operations, profitability, and becoming one of the strongest banks in our respective segment. Sir, we would like to know how our business has been impacted in these past 2 years of this COVID time. And the coronavirus and the subsequent lockdowns have left virtually no industry untouched after the COVID. So whether any employee was sacked, hired, salary cut in percentage, if any, whether any salary cut was being taken by the management, and what are the cost-cutting initiatives our bank is doing. And sir, regarding I would request our bank to kindly take part in con call, quarterly presentation meeting with global investors on a regular basis so that we can have a boost in the business. Sir, then I would request the management to kindly give zero balance account to the account holders who are below the annual income of 2 lakhs. So this will in fact boost our customer strength, and some public are facing discrepancies in public sector. They will ultimately opt to the private sector. So this will in fact boost the number of customers of our bank. And sir, also try to provide free life AMC demat account for shareholders, and don't charge them AMC. So this will in fact motivate the investor fraternity to open their demat account with ICICI Bank, and kindly share a code for the same, sir, so to the investors' registered email ID so that the same cannot be misused. And kindly try to take necessary action against the online frauds taking place on a regular basis, and appoint some senior technical officials to protect the system and try to reduce the number of frauds in the years to come. And sir, what are the steps being taken by the management to reduce the legal professional charges and the audit fee? So myself and my team are running a legal firm in the name and style of 7-Months Associate in Chennai. So I would request your good selves to kindly enroll a firm in the empanelment of the bank, and we will be glad to extend our services. I have made a request last year also. Hope that the management will fulfill the wish and desire of the minority shareholders this year, and you will put me to the legal team so that I can share my credentials with them. And I have also spoke to the company secretary regarding this, and I thank the company secretary and the entire team for conducting this 27th Annual General Body Meeting virtually and making this 27th AGM a grand success. Hope to see you in the physical AGM next year, sir. I wish the company and the board of directors a great success and prosperity in the coming future. Thank you for giving the opportunity, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek, for sharing your thoughts and views and attending the AGM. I now invite speaker number 23, Mr. Santosh Chopra from Ghaziabad. Mr. Santosh Chopra.
Sir, the shareholder is not connected in the meeting.
Okay, so then we move on to our last speaker, speaker number 24, Mr. Yusuf Rangawala from Mumbai. If he is available, just look at it. Mr. Yusuf Rangawala, your voice is not coming out clearly. Please continue. Please continue. I'll mute my speaker and then see.
Can I continue, sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah, now you continue. It's better. It's better. Please.
We had the link with ICICI is part of our group. Sir, if you open account with ICICI, they are connecting with the bank. It shows how we are each other company, sir. I am very back, sir. And our bank is a large sir. And sir, can you next year, if please give us chance from Bombay. I my humble request to call from Bombay and you have a guest out at Baroda. So and we will be sir. आपके इंतजार में सर वक्त रुक गया है आपसे मुलाकात हो रही है सर और 280 एनुअल रिपोर्ट उसके सर बैलेंस अपना एटीएम कनाडा अफ्रीका यूएसए और यूनाइटेड अरब जगह में सर आईसीआईसीआई का ब्रांचेस है सर ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में है ये दिखाता है कि अपना आईसीआईसीआई कितना ऊपर सर मैं एक चाहता हूँ कि नेक्स्ट जब मिले तो अपना बैंक को सर बल्ले थैंक यू वेरी मच और सर आने वाले और जैसा रक्षाबंधन रक्षाबंधन के हिसाब से और सर अपना टोटल थैंक यू वेरी मच सर
Thank you, Mr. Rangawala, for your views and thoughts and attending the AGM. Now, thank you, members, for your valuable suggestions and inputs. We have taken note of the same. I request our MD and CEO to answer the queries raised by the members. While our MD and CEO will provide the answers shortly, I request the team in the interim to play a short video showcasing success stories of 2 beneficiaries through CSR activities.
खेलना किस बच्चे को अच्छा नहीं लगता, पर जब वो फिजिकली चैलेंज हो तो हर खेल उसके लिए चैलेंज बन जाता है। मैं विनोद राज, मैं इस चुनौती से लड़ने के लिए तैयार था। मेरी आंखों में रोशनी भले ही अधूरी थी, पर खेलों में कुछ कर दिखाने की हिम्मत हुई थी। बचपन से ही एक ही सपना था, अपने जिले, अपने देश के लिए नाम कमाऊं और अपने अप्पा और अम्मा के सर से जिम्मेदारियों का बोझ कम कर दूं। पर मेरी जीत की चमक मेरी आंखों को ही चुभ गई। मेरी आंखों की रोशनी पूरी तरह से चली गई, हालत और खराब हो गए। और जब अप्पा चल बसे, ऐसा लगा जैसे अम्मा के कंधों का सबसे बड़ा बोझ अब मैं खुद हूं। पर अम्मा ने कभी उम्मीद नहीं छोड़ी और ना ही मेरा हाथ। फिर एक दिन उन्हीं उम्मीदों में एक रोशनी की किरण नजर आई, जब आईसीआईसीआई फाउंडेशन का एक ट्रेनर ने मुझे और मेरी अम्मा को मशरूम कल्टीवेशन कोर्स के बारे में बताया। यह कोर्स बिल्कुल फ्री था। कहने को बस 15 दिनों की ट्रेनिंग थी, पर 15 दिनों ने हमारी जिंदगी के सारे दिन बदल दिए। हमने अपने ही आंगन में मशरूम उगाना शुरू कर दिया। इतना ही नहीं, शुरू में तो हमने आधे से ज्यादा मशरूम गांव वालों को फ्री में ही बांट दिए, ताकि इस काम के लिए दूसरों को भी मोटिवेशन कर सके। पहली बार एहसास हुआ खुशियां मन की आंखों से भी दिखाई देती है। ICICI कोर्स को किए हुए बस 10 महीने हुए और हम महीने का करीब 100 किलो से ज्यादा मशरूम उगा लेते हैं। सुपरमार्केट से लेके बड़े बड़े संस्थाओं तक हमारे मशरूम सप्लाई होते हैं। ICICI एकेडमी में भी इस कोर्स का ट्रेनिंग देने जाता हूँ। जो विनोद राज कभी कच्चे मकान में रहता था, आज अपना पक्का घर बना रहा है। बस एक स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमी खोलना चाहता हूँ ताकि जिस जिंदगी को जीने का सपना मेरे बचपन में कभी देखा था, वो जिंदगी दूसरे बच्चे जी सके। आंखों ने रोशनी छोड़ी है, सपना देखना नहीं। थैंक यू ICICI बैंक।
लाखों लोग आज अपने पैरों पे खड़े होकर मुस्कुरा रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं ये संख्या बढ़ती जाए, ये हुनर की दुआ सबको लगती जाए।
My name is Kezia Riyamai. I was born and brought up in the remote village of Manipur. It was very difficult for us to survive. I started working along with my sisters. Working at construction site required a lot of hard work, but I wanted to earn money and buy books for my education. I finished my BA till second year. I failed in my third year because I had to work to survive. One day at my sister's tea stall, I was reading newspaper. There was an ad about Skills Academy in Guwahati. They were offering free courses for guys and girls of my age. I thought if I joined the academy, I would also get a good job in Guwahati city. I got admission in selling skills course because I saw various job opportunities after doing this course. I feel it was very important for a girl like me who came from a small village. Academy changed me into a new person. After completing the course, I got a job in a BPO. I was very happy. It was a new beginning for me.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members, for your valuable suggestions and inputs. In addition to the queries raised by the speaker members, the bank has also received queries through emails from few members in advance. As there are many common queries, the replies have been consolidated. It may be noted that the bank is constrained to not respond to queries from shareholders, including through emails which pertain to matters which are outside the scope of business to be transacted at the meeting, or on matters which may be sub judice or legally privileged, as also on certain matters which may not qualify for public disclosures, including for reasons which are regulatory in nature. The rest of the queries have been considered. We had last connected about 53 weeks back, as one shareholder mentioned. And that was the time we were coming out of the first COVID wave, and the initial resumption of business activity had happened. In fact, the business activity had paced very, very positively, for the next couple of months. And by February of 2021, we were almost back to the pre-COVID levels, and in certain aspects, in fact, above the pre-COVID levels in terms of the business activity. But the second wave, which started in March of 21, did impact, I would say, the entire country. The entire society got impacted, and our people, in fact, the second wave, we all know the impact on people was a lot more profound. Here again, we have to thank all the COVID warriors and also our own colleagues in the bank who went beyond the call of duty to ensure that we were able to provide uninterrupted banking services to our customers. Our honest attempt through this period was to ensure that all our customers straddling the entire segment, corporate, MMG, mid-market group, SME group, business loan group, the retail, as also the rural, are served to the best of our ability. And we used a multi-channel architecture, which included, of course, our branch presence, the ATMs. We used the iMobile, the internet, the call center, as also the various partners that we have. So that was the basis on which we were able to provide uninterrupted banking services. I would say that we, thanks to the vaccination, we are now coming out, and we feel that business activity is coming back to normalcy. Of course, there is trepidation of the third wave, but we have to sort of see how things play out from here. As a bank, we have followed, as I had mentioned last year also, a framework of looking at the pre-provisioning operating profit as the overarching framework on which we run the bank and try to create shareholder value. Risk calibrated pretty much encompasses the elements of credit, as also risks related to brand, trust and reputation. So that's the basis on which we've attempted to take the bank forward. And the basic elements which make the bank, starts with what I call the deposit franchise. Happy to share with the members that our deposit franchise has progressed well, notwithstanding the difficult COVID period too. And we today are amongst the lowest cost deposit franchises. This enables us to provide loans to the best of customers on the most competitive terms. The other thing which is very, very important, and some of the members also spoke about that, was the aspect of operating cost and operating efficiency. Indeed, the digital initiatives which we had taken did help the bank to deliver services in an efficient manner, as also a cost-effective manner. But I must tell the members that while we were trying our best to optimize the costs as far as operating delivery was concerned, we were not shying away from the investments which are required to make our franchise and make our bank strong to cope up with the future challenges and the future opportunities which are going to come our way. Human capital, in fact, is one of our most precious resources, and we did put our best foot forward in terms of the human capital, including their training. And of course, as we mentioned in my opening remarks also, that vaccination of our colleagues was one of the most important pursuits that we had post the second wave. The other thing which we are investing in is our partnerships. Many of the partnerships are digital, and we believe that this is going to be one of the big strengths and one of the big competitive advantages of our bank going forward. We are investing in branches, so micro market strategy that we have. So we are investing in branches. Technology is going to be a very, very distinct differentiator in the times to come, and we are putting our best foot forward in terms of employing the best of technology to serve our customers. And many of the members also spoke about the security risk. Indeed, cyber security is an issue and is a change. Can I continue? Sorry, there was a break. Cyber security is indeed a challenge and a real issue, and I can sort of assure the members that as a bank, we are having the best of protocols to ensure that our technology frameworks are robust and the protocols in terms of privacy are the best in class. This was the overarching and would have covered many of the questions that the members had asked. Amongst the specific, I also want to sort of thank many of the members who spoke about the bank, and indeed it's truly humbling for us, and I can assure the members that this will only motivate us to work harder and work with greater humility so that we are in a position to vindicate the trust and expectations that are placed on us as a bank. Amongst some of the specific queries, I would just take them in the order that the questions were posed. The first query was related to the listing of the ICICI Pru AMC. I would like to mention that as of now, we do not have any plans of listing of our AMC. Non-performing assets, we are pursuing a very, very focused strategy in terms of the quality of the book that we onboard, as also the quality of the book that we have. We have a very, very focused effort on that. We don't have any specific targets, but as a framework, I spoke about the pre-provisioning operating profit as a focus area for us. We, as a framework, believe that if we should be containing our provisions within a level of about 30% of our operating profits. The decline in employee expenses, I mentioned in my opening remarks also that the employee are a focus area for us and our most valuable resource or the most valuable asset that we have in the bank. So the decline in employee expenses was marginal in financial year 2021 and reflected a slight reduction in the employee count, being a pandemic year, as also certain actuarial provisions. We have not downsized, we have not, I would say, laid off during the pandemic anybody. In fact, as we speak and with the resumption of economic activity, we have once again, I would say, started hiring, as we believe that there are opportunities ahead of us. Our dividend is in line. Last year we had restrictions, and based on the considerations that were deliberations that were done, the dividend rate was decided for this current financial year. Overall, we have a 360-degree customer-centric approach. We always attempt to take the full bank to the customer. So we do not really have any specific targets on wholesale, retail. We have a distribution which straddles the entire spectrum of opportunity, and wherever there are opportunities on a risk calibrated basis, that is the basis on which we build our portfolio. It's a 360-degree approach, and whether we are even when we are looking at a corporate customer too, our objective is to ensure that all the opportunities which are there are attempted to be sort of onboarded or serviced by us as a bank. There was a question on, I would say, the future trajectory of the provisions. I would only want to sort of submit to the members that our balance sheet has been well fortified, and our current assessment is that the provisions that we have taken, and as we speak, we have about 6,400 crores of provisions. They should be sufficient to take us through the pandemic and help us sort of move through the difficult period. The NIM for the Q1 2022 was 3.89%, and the fee growth was 52%. However, this had come on a low base, which was there for Q1 of 2021. There was a question on our subsidiaries of UK and Canada. We are, in fact, recalibrating our strategy to focus on NRI and remittances. Assets relating to non-India is not a focus area for us, and to that extent, the non-India book residing in those geographies was brought down as a part of this strategic direction that we have taken for those entities. There was a question on the frauds. In fact, most of the frauds relate to the period prior to 2017, for which provisions have already been made. The learnings from these have been discussed in detail at our fraud monitoring committee of the board, and our focus now is on better rated customers, which you would be seeing is reflected in the current pattern of our profits and the way our balance sheet is shaping us. The retail fraud was small and was just about 0.02% of the entire retail book. I've spoken about the fact that we are strengthening and we have a very sort of dedicated focus on cyber security. We have a dedicated cyber security team headed by Chief Information Security Officer. ICICI Bank provides services to its customers in the safest and secure manner. Bank is devoted to provide a secure experience which essentially protects its customers' confidential information. And we are following the global best security and privacy protocols which are in place. There was a question on the refund, interest refund. In accordance with the Reserve Bank of India notification dated April 7, 2021, the bank was required to refund and adjust interest on interest to certain borrowers during the period when moratorium was applicable, which was from March 1, 2020 to August 31, 2020. At year-end fiscal 2021, the bank created a liability towards estimated interest relief amounting to rupees 1.75 billion. There was a question on the digital journey during the financial year 2021. On personal loans, it was applicable to 90% of our customers, and it was 75% for credit cards. There was a question on priority sector. I would like to mention that we are governed by the same regulations on priority sector as all commercial banks, including the public sector banks. The same are applicable to us. The branch count is 5,266, and the female employees are 32% of our workforce. Savings deposits are 68% of the CASA at 2,954 billion rupees. As regards the green initiatives, I would request the members to see our ESG report which we have sent. Amongst other sort of initiatives, we used about 11.9 megawatts of renewable energy in financial year 2021, which was about 70% higher than the previous year, and rainwater harvesting has been done in our 3 large offices. There was a suggestion on the compliance function. We take note of that, and we just like to assure you that we'll continue to strengthen our compliance function. One had already mentioned as regards vaccination of staff that 85% of our employees have got at least the first dose, and we are taking steps over the next couple of weeks to ensure that they are given the second dose and the bank is vaccinated to the extent possible. There was a question on reduction in borrowing. Here I would like to mention that as a bank, we should be looking at, we look at the deposits as also the borrowings together, as we use a judicious mix of the two to optimize the cost of borrowings. The 5-year highlights are present on page 6 and 7 of the annual report. I think there was certain specific customer, I would say, issues. There was, I would say, issue related to IEPF. Here we would like to mention that we always make efforts to reach out to the depositors before we deposit money with the government. On the specific case which was there, we would request you to provide the details to our company secretary, and we will certainly try to help you out on that. Also, there were certain questions related to our ex-colleagues on pension. I would request that they be submitted to our company secretary, and we will put them forward to the HR department to have it examined. There was another issue related to the DMAT. There too, I would request that this be handed over to be sent to our company secretary, and we'll look at it. I would say that with this, I think I guess I've answered, taken care of most of the queries. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Sandeep. As the queries have now been answered, I would like to inform you that pursuant to Section 108 of the Companies Act 2013, read with Rule 20 of the Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014, and Regulation 44 of the Securities and Exchange Board of India Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements, Regulations 2015, the bank had provided an opportunity to all its members for exercising their voting rights through remote e-voting for the items of business to be transacted at the AGM, which are as follows. Item number 1, adoption of financial statements for the financial year ended March 31st, 2021. Item number 2, declaration of dividend on equity shares for the year ended March 31, 2021 at the rate of ₹2 per equity share. Item number 3, reappointment of Mr. Sandeep Bakshi, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. Item number 4, appointment of Messrs. MSKA and Associates, Chartered Accountants, as one of the joint statutory auditors of the bank. Item number 5, appointment of Messrs. Khimji Kunwarji and Company LLP, Chartered Accountants, as one of the joint statutory auditors of the bank. Item number 6, revision in remuneration of Mr. Sandeep Bakshi, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. Item number 7, revision in remuneration of Ms. Vishakha Mule, Executive Director. Item number 8, revision in remuneration of Mr. Sandeep Batra, Executive Director. Item number 9, revision in remuneration of Mr. Anup Bakshi, Executive Director. Item number 10, reappointment of Mr. Anup Bakshi as a whole-time director designated as an executive director of the bank. Item number 11, payment of compensation in the form of fixed remuneration to the non-executive directors other than part-time chairman and the director nominated by the Government of India of the bank. The relevant explanatory statements in respect of the item numbers 4 to 11 are provided in the notice of AGM. The remote e-voting facility was provided to the members from Monday, August 16, 2021, 9 a.m. IST to Thursday, August 19, 2021, 5 p.m. IST through National Security Depository Limited, NSDL, to exercise their votes in proportion to their shareholding as on August 13, 2021, which was the cutoff date fixed for voting in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. The bank is also providing e-voting facility for members attending the meeting who have not already cast their vote by remote e-voting. Mr. Elvin D'Souza of Elvin D'Souza and Company, practicing company secretary, has been appointed as the scrutinizer for the remote e-voting as well as for e-voting during the AGM. Members holding shares as on the cutoff date, that is August 13, 2021, and have not cast their vote by remote e-voting may exercise their right to cast their votes through e-voting, which will remain open for 15 minutes. This concludes the formal business of the meeting, and I declare the meeting as closed. I authorize any executive director or the company secretary to declare the voting results. The voting results, along with the consolidated scrutinizer's report, will be announced to the stock exchange and will be disseminated on the website of the bank and NSDL. The voting results will also be displayed at the registered office as well as at the corporate office of the bank. The same would be duly recorded as a part of the proceedings of the AGM. Thank you all for your support and cooperation. Thank you for attending this AGM. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care. Thank you all.